Hey guys, Wrestling Throwdown here. I'm Haley, this is Joe, and we are going to talk about Fastlane last night. Now, we obviously have definitely different views. I thought it was a terrible pay-per-view. I guess I wouldn't say terrible. I thought it was bad. I don't think it was as bad as what I expected to be, but I still thought it needed some work. And then obviously Joe said that he enjoyed it, so.
I thought it was a solid 7 out of 10 show. I mean, like, they did what they had to get to WrestleMania, and that's how I was looking at this show. How are they going to get through this show to make the road to WrestleMania easier? And I give it a 7 out of 10. I thought it had some moments I wish they gave us more, some moments that were good, some moments that, all right, they figured this out at the last minute to get out of this situation. But overall, I mean, we had definitive finishes, and that was what I was looking for. I thought it would be too predictable to have weird little funny finishes all night, and that's not what we got. Enjoyed that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, most of them were clean victories. I mean, most of them, no one interfered or anything like that, so.
Or even if it wasn't interference, it wasn't like it was a subtle interference, a ref distraction.
Yeah.
It wasn't a game changer.
Yeah. Alrighty. They start off with the Authority versus Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and Eric Rowan. Now, the thing is this was just a match because they obviously wanted Randy's return to be special. They were thinking of obviously him coming back as a huge babyface. And they didn't really want Seth, obviously, to start a new feud, so they obviously threw this together, and they said, okay, we'll give him this, and then Randy will make his return. Obviously, they planned this whole thing. Randy has been ready for a while. I'm not really sure why he hasn't came back. Well, I am kind of positive now. It's obviously because they wanted to get a good reaction with this.
Yeah.
And obviously, Randy got a great reaction. Everyone was very surprised. My brother wasn't expecting it. Me and him were actually expecting Sheamus to come out. That's who I thought it was going to be. I did not think Randy was going to come out. But it was good. It was, I think it makes no sense that the Authority won, though. I think they need to give it to Dolph, especially when Seth didn't even get the win anyways. I thought that was kind of messed up. I thought that was really pointless. I don't know about you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly one of my more critical points of the show. I mean, I hate what they've done to Ziggler. Ziggler's Survivor Series closed out the show with Sting's WWE debut, and it felt special, and it felt like, all right, like he's at least feels like Diamond Dallas Page in 1998. Like he feels like he's gaining momentum, and he's been with this company for so long, and that's why, like, I'm not one of those guys who, like, it has to be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has to win the championship. Yes, yes, yes. I love Bryan, but I mean, a guy like Ziggler, he's paid his dues with the company. The fans love him. They respect him. And with what happened at the end of this pay-per-view, like top to bottom, I don't know where matches like Ziggler and Bryan are gonna end up. And Sheamus, where are these big players gonna end up on this card? Because it seems like the card's pretty set with a lot of these matchups that we saw.
Pretty much, yeah. And I made a post pretty much last night, pretty much saying like, this was the card. Obviously, there was going to be a few mismatches because obviously they're still saying that Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan could happen. I don't know how that could happen because obviously Daniel Bryan and Sheamus are obviously going to happen now, with Sheamus returning now and everything. So unless they're going to turn Dolph Ziggler heel very fast. I mean, they only have 5 weeks to do so. They have 5 weeks to make a good storyline. So,
yeah, and they have all their other storylines set. It's a shame that a guy like Dolph is getting lost in the shuffle here, and this fired angle, Haley, is just one of the worst things the company's done in years. Took 3 guys, all had some kind of momentum. Ryback and Ziggler, I feel, had more momentum than Rowan, but all 3 of them had some kind of momentum, and just pissed it away with the stupid Fire Guide storyline. It was just a way to... I understand why they did it. It was a way to add more storyline to the Sting Triple H match. I get it. But to just use these guys as pawns in that storyline really hurt their stock, especially Ziggler's. And, you know, Randy Orton comes back. Now we have the big match with him and Seth. That's great. We thought we'd get it all along, and looks like it's going to happen. It's got 2 big-time players. They need to be in a big match. That makes sense. It's a blow-off to a feud. Makes sense. But And I agreed. Like the fired guys, Randy should have like maybe cost Seth's team the victory, Team Authority the
Hmm.
victory. At least giving Ziggler or Ryback the rub in one shape or form. It's a shame. Both these
Because who
guys,
pinned? I think wasn't it Kane that pinned him? It was
Kane. Yeah,
Seth, and I was just like, seriously, like if you're gonna have him win, at least let Seth get the victory. Like that makes no sense.
I know. Like Kane gets the pin, or even Big Show. I mean, Kane. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, at
Anyway,
least we got Randy back though. That was kind of like the star moment
yeah,
of that
it
whole
was
thing.
bittersweet. I rate the segment a 5. With the only reason it was so high is because Randy's return. Other than that, I would have been a 2 or 3. I didn't think the match was that good. The finish, the execution, and
Yeah.
I'm pissed off. The fired guys have gotten jobbed out in this angle, and it definitely is a sore spot for me. But overall, I did enjoy the picture.
They have too many people, and they're having way too many people on NXT wanting to come up, and they need to get rid of these older guys. They need to have Mark Henry retire if he hasn't already. They need Kane out. They need Big Show out. Blah blah blah. They need them all out, and it's just
Yeah.
like they need to make spots for these guys. Because even they said that Cena, this might be one of his last years. They're even saying this. There's an article I read. That's why he's going for the U.S. Title. And that's why they think he's probably going to have it for a while. They think he's like pretty much done after this. They want to have him have a low work schedule so he can obviously, because he's working through, I think, multiple injuries right now. So,
And these decades, it seems like, of invincibility by Cena are catching up with him. He's a human being. He's not the Terminator. And, like, much respect to the contribution. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the greatest. He's on a Mount Rushmore that includes the likes of Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Steve Austin, and The Rock in terms of his contribution to the business. So, I mean, it's sad to see it coming to an end, but in a way, like, it has to happen. The business needs to move forward. That's why NXT is getting so popular. To the point where I'm rooting for NXT to really grow, take the show on the road, and really start to develop as an alternative brand. And Triple H is doing a great job with it, just to give that different presentation out there. I think
yeah.
TNA would actually worry about, and you're seeing guys like Rhino and Brian Kendrick appear on NXT to work with the younger guys. Quite interesting. That really gives it the feel of its own brand.
Yep, definitely. Stardust versus Goldust. Obviously, we knew this match was going to end, bad in some way. Obviously, it wasn't going to be a great match. And obviously, Goldust won, which obviously we all predicted. So then it would get obviously Stardust / Cody all mad, and then they would have their big match at WrestleMania. I still hope that he does turn back into Cody Rhodes for this, but I don't think he will.
No.
I think actually Dusty is going to get involved in this somehow. He's either going to be the special guest referee or he's going to be involved in this match somehow. And I mean, we'll see where that goes, but hopefully they have a better match because everyone has been waiting for this match. Everyone was just like, for the past few years, everyone wanted this match, and now I feel like since he's not Cody Rhodes and since it's kind of like just thrown together, they don't really have a good storyline. It's disappointing.
I disagree. I feel like this is actually a pretty good storyline. They've worked Dusty in the past few weeks, and this whole now I'm not Cody kind of storyline, and even the look of Stardust in his first.
Well, yeah, I can understand that.
I feel like it's actually got elements of one of the better storylines going into WrestleMania. Brother versus brother and all of that, and they haven't lost that element. We all know it's Cody Rhodes. Now we're chanting Cody under the skin of Stardust. I think it's a good element to this storyline, and I actually like. And this is coming from someone who absolutely hated Stardust. If you all remember, I hated the idea of Stardust. I thought Cody Rhodes could have been in the main. So a lot like I feel about Ziggler is how I feel about Cody Rhodes. But you know what? He's made Stardust work. Sterling sold me on it finally after all this time. I know he's been a fan, but overall, he's. I hope Eden gets involved. I noticed Eden called was the ring announcer. Her and Lillian were kind of alternating, And she did a better job than Lillian. Lillian was watching.
Yeah, she was. I definitely heard a few of them from Lillian, which is
At
kind of
least
surprising too, because usually Lillian is pretty good.
she was off her game, whatever reason. And that whole Memphis crowd, she had her meme, the Oscar goes to the worst crowd. It was a craptastic crowd. They were really like,
Yeah, they were just
yeah,
like, by
hey,
the end, they were just.
yeah.
And
It
I mean,
hurt
I
the
don't really blame them, but we'll get into that later. But
Oh yeah, I mean, I just feel like it hurt the show overall. They were a crappy crowd. Like it hurt
yeah,
a lot of the matches and a lot of the moments that could have been bigger. And it's WWE's own fault in a way because yeah, they've not been giving fans a lot to look forward to. But this crowd, there was some good stuff on this card, and this crowd was disappointing.
yeah. The Usos versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Now this kind of surprised me. I actually thought the Usos were going to win.
Did I predict this right? I think I did.
I think so. Yeah, I think didn't you say the Tyson Kidd? Oh, wait.
Back. Joey Dice predicted this right.
Yeah, I think so. I was like, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it obviously because I love Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. I think they're great together, but I don't know. I feel like it would have been better for WrestleMania, but the thing is, they already have so many matches at WrestleMania. I think that I don't know if they're just going to wait on the rematch or they're going to have the rematch on Raw or something. Because I mean, I thought they were going to. I knew they were going to lose it soon. I knew Tyson was going to get it. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro were going to get it, but I just didn't think they would get it at Fastlane.
I thought it was cool. I thought because it won't be lost, like Cesaro's moment was lost now in the annals of WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan's story and how Daniel Bryan will always be beloved and Cesaro's momentum. Another one in the brass ring club, if you will, which is what Cesaro and Kidd call themselves sometimes. I was happy. It was a really good match, and I thought it was a really good moment for Kidd, who really was showcased in this match after years with this company. It was really him that did the heavy lifting, and I like Cesaro, and no knock to Cesaro, that's just how the match was booked and planned. Cesaro was not, like, he played his part well. He really assisted. He was almost like in a Mizdow role, minus the comedy. Like, he really, like, was the assist man, would take the kick to set up Tyson to get, that big corkscrew suplex at the end, or just all the big spots that he hit. And I thought it was a real big moment for Tyson, real happy. I'm glad to see him and Natty kind of embrace at the end. And overall, I thought it was a good moment for Cesaro, for Kidd. Kidd's a former tag champ, Cesaro former U.S. champ. But both, it's been such a long road for both. And I think we can all agree they got something with this tag team. And we actually pulled the trigger on them. I'm happy. I'm glad. And it won't be lost in the shelf of WrestleMania. If it's on the pre-show, whatever, at least they had their moment. Remember last year, Haley, we all thought Usos were going to be outlaws at WrestleMania. They did it on a Raw so they could kind of have their own moment. The Usos, I think, were on the pre-show. So sometimes disrespect's just how the card plays out. We see the matches, and we'll talk about the potential matches as we go down on the Fastlane card, is everything, the path to WrestleMania really did become a lot clearer after this pay-per-view, and that's what I liked about it.
And hopefully the Natty thing's over with, too. Hopefully her and Tyson the drama just goes away.
They kind of squashed it with the little kiss and embrace at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Celebrating.
I hope she doesn't cost him the titles, because then obviously it'll be all over again.
Well, yeah, that's what could happen at the end of this. Does Natty get fed up from being always like the third fiddle here in this little equation? And notice with the initial celebration, Kidd really made a point to celebrate more with Cesaro than Natty, and Natty was kind of like keeping to the side, playing her role good, and then finally Kidd embraced her, and they had a big kiss on the ramp and everything. By the way, I don't even think there was a ramp. It was a weird setup. It was just kind of like a flat entrance. Very strange setup.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the Elimination Chamber in this venue. They were saying the venue was one of the reasons why they didn't do Elimination Chamber, because it was a smaller venue than I thought. I think that might be true.
See, that's why I think that Elimination Chamber should come back either later down with the year. And they should, even though they only have one title now, It's like, why not, make one with the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title and stuff, like, in the tag team titles. Like, why do they always have to have just the world, or?
Or what they could have done and should have done is the War Games concept. And they really missed the boat with it with Shield versus Wyatt last year. That should have been a War Game style, which is Dusty Rhodes WCW concept, where it was a war, a team versus team war in a cage in the Elimination Chamber, and people would come in like similar to Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble, like randomly, like 10, 9, 8,
Yeah.
random person comes in, and they get like the coin toss, and usually the heels win the coin toss, and they would always get the 2-1, 3-2 advantage. I mean, just like, so I thought they could have done that with matches like Shield Wyatt's or Shield Evolution had that presented itself. It's a shame they never went that route with Elimination Chamber. I think they missed something.
Yeah, definitely.
Could have saved the Elimination Chamber match.
Hmm?
I think it could have saved the Elimination Chamber
definitely.
match. In recent years, I think it's really like, it hasn't provided a lot of great moments. What was the last one I remember? Like maybe the one that Jericho beat Michaels for it with the help of Undertaker?
Yeah, that was the good one. Yeah, definitely.
Here, Punk threw Jericho out of the chamber, and it was like controversial. Those are only real moments.
Some of them have just been like, so I can't even remember who won. Like, that's how bad they were.
Yeah. Chamber to have a chamber match.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they had Chamber on New Year's Revolutions, and Cena survived the Chamber. Then Edge cashed in on him. Those are the moments you just don't see anymore.
Sting versus Triple H. Or Sting and Triple H confrontation, I guess I should say. Obviously, they made it official already for WrestleMania. I think Sting's supposed to be here tonight, and I think he's supposed to be here on the going home show, but other than that, he's supposed to be Triple H pretty much setting up the whole thing. But a lot of people I heard weren't a fan of this. They thought it was just kind of, I don't know, they thought it was kind of weak and that it could have been better. I do think it could have been better, but obviously for that little bit, I mean, I don't think they wanted to give us so much. They didn't want to give us too much because obviously this is a 5-week span, so I'm sure they'll give us a lot more tonight. Not that it's official, too, so. I mean, what did you think about it, Joe?
I mean, look, I've been looking forward to the storyline, being a fan of WCW and a fan of the Stinger throughout his career. And I wish he would have talked. I thought we were going to get more of a back-and-forth promo out of it. I think that's where the letdown of people are feeling it. I will say, like, look, I seem like they tweaked his music a little bit. I kind of liked his music a little bit better. It was a little bit less whiny. It fit him better. It was more of like a church bell to it. Not like the Undertaker's bell. It was kind of like, it fit him more. And, he comes out, and the fact that he brought out the bat, and everybody's like losing sight of this. The bat is part of Sting, just like the sledgehammer is part of Triple H, just as synonymous. Like that's why this matchup is so interesting. And for Triple H to go and like he's egging on Sting, and Sting's kind of playing the 1997 character where he was a mute and he just appeared randomly and he played head games with the NWO. He didn't talk for a year, so it seems like he's playing up that character, and I mean that's fine. I do wish we would hear him talk. I wish maybe tonight on Raw we could hear him talk.
I think that's why people were disappointed because there was no talking with him. So.
Then we got the bat, though. I was like, finally, because I had heard rumors they weren't even going to let him use the bat, and it's like, what the hell?
That was stupid if they would have done that.
So the fact that he brought out the bat and he showed aggression, he really got the better of Triple H. And look, at one year, Triple H and Undertaker, all they did was look at the sign, and they made a match for WrestleMania. So let's not forget how they booked recent matches with Triple H and this guy. So for what it was, I thought that it was successful. Flair's appearance on Raw, he apologized for pushing Flair. He continued that little storyline too. So I thought I actually feel, and I will give Triple H a lot of credit, Triple H is carrying the storyline. I will agree with anyone who has criticism with Sting, like in terms of he only signed for 6 appearances. Now we've gotten 3. Like, so now you're right. Two on the road to WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania makes 6. So he better talk tonight if he's on tonight. Because I think,
Yeah.
I hope give us 3 minutes with Renee Young, at least. I mean, he had an interview when he signed on, like, YouTube and stuff. Like, why can't he do an interview now? Like, Renee Young,
Yeah, because
aside.
it's not gonna be as good as the storyline if he doesn't talk. I mean, there's only so much time he can do if he's only gonna have 2 times before WrestleMania.
The stuff that Triple H is saying is semi-true. Like, look, respect, you died with the ship. But then, like, you were the one guy who didn't have the cojones to come over here. Literally, the one guy who was in WCW and never at one point. They all did it. Goldberg, Rey Mysterio, Nash, Steiner, DDP, Booker T. Hogan, Bischoff, everybody, literally, but Stinger made the appearance in WWE. That's why it's so special, because this is 20 years in the making. And, it's 2 Attitude Era Monday Night War characters that are still around, and that makes it great. But I feel like, he needs to talk. Renee Young, I think, would be the perfect candidate to conduct the interview. Maybe Michael Cole, or maybe even Byron Saxton, but one of those 3 to conduct the interview with Sting, because it's time for Sting to talk. Because Triple H is pulling his punk card. It's true. Like, why you choose now? Like, when the WWE, and they could really go real with it of like, there's been issues with the network, and people have been mad about the Royal Rumble and this and that, and you choose now to try to remove me from power when you need me more than ever, because the WWE is unstable, and I am stability, I am the game, I am Triple H. And, this is everything that Triple H is saying, and it's partly true, and Sting's not retorting. So, in a way, like I said, he's playing up that 97 character, but it's in this day and age, you got to see a little bit of vocalization, unless you're like the Undertaker or something. And that's how they're kind of making Sting look like Undertaker-ish with the WWE thing, which is fine. I think we could all have predicted it was going to go this way, which is respectful to Sting. At least they're going through the effort to give him a lot of production and stuff. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to the match. I would possibly close the show. We talked about this on the review.
Yeah, I think this will be the main event. I think that this is the only thing that can really be the main event. I mean, because obviously we're going to get another Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, obviously, with the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So
I think if there's a double turn with Paul, it can save it. I think that can save it. And you know what? Roman Reigns, we'll get into this a little bit more, but
I definitely have my opinions on his match and ring ability last night, because just...
I don't know. I thought... all right, we'll get to that in the main event.
Paige versus Nikki Bella. Obviously, this was just a throwaway match. Obviously, she grabbed the tights. Nothing really more to say here. Obviously, Paige will get her rematch. I don't know if it'll be at WrestleMania, but because I feel like if it's at WrestleMania, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that Nikki Bella shouldn't even be have the opportunity to wrestle at WrestleMania. So
I love the Bella.
But it would be cool for Paige, obviously, to win the title the 3rd time at WrestleMania. I would like that.
A year after debuting to win it the 3rd time in a year span, I think it'd be pretty cool. Might as well save the moment for her and for Ambrose.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's really, I mean, people were saying that Bray was going to turn on Nikki. I don't think so. I think that's done.
Because they already, think about it. They threw away the whole storyline. Maybe Bray's just waiting for the right moment. And she's just playing happy sister.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. I feel like it's just over with, and it needs to just be over with.
He screwed her in her biggest match in her career, correct? Like Stephanie McMahon versus Brie Bella. By far, Brie Bella's biggest match in her career. Yeah,
and they could have it play out at WrestleMania. That would be really good. Yeah.
I think that's a possibility there. I would not rule it out. I was actually thinking about that yesterday.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose versus Bad News Barrett, Intercontinental title. And obviously, this was a DQ match, and Dean decided to still take the title. So he has the title right now, even though he didn't win it. So obviously that's going to play out more today. Obviously he's going to get the rematch at WrestleMania, which I obviously see him winning at WrestleMania.
Yeah. You got to give Dean a lot of credit, and I think Dean is the master of like turning chicken sit into chicken shallot. In terms of, it doesn't matter if he's on a therapist with a couch, or like walking in the snowstorm in Connecticut, or he's in an Intercontinental title feud, or with the exception of the Wyatt program, he's really made the best out of everything. I mean, him and Rollins steal a show in a lumberjack match. Whoever even thought the concept of stealing the show in a lumberjack match? And Dean Ambrose and Rollins did it. So, I mean, Ambrose, I feel, is the master of taking whatever they give him and making it entertaining. And, the finish wasn't great, but I enjoyed him taking the title. Typical Dean.
I think it was good. I think it was good to obviously continue it at WrestleMania. I think it was good for him to take the title.
Absolutely. Keep like messing with Barrett, and Barrett's always been this bullish character, and Dean's taking it to him. After all the years Barrett spent as a bully with the Nexus, I mean, finally, like, Barrett's running into someone that's really taking the fight to him, and I'm kind of doing it.
Yep. Now this is what I loved. Bray Wyatt, obviously, and the Undertaker. A lot of people thought that it was going to be Undertaker, like they were dead serious, and I was just like, I felt like it was common sense to see that it was Bray Wyatt, because at least to me it was common sense that I knew it was going to be Bray Wyatt. And obviously with the casket, I heard there's rumors that it is going to be a casket match. Now, a lot of people like that idea, and I don't. I don't know if I'm the only one that doesn't like it. I already talked to Chris a little bit about it in the group. I said, I guess I'm just the only one that's disappointed with that match. I feel like it could be, I felt like they just needed just a regular match between them. Like, I don't get why it has to be a casket match. And I get it. I think it's more to save Undertaker from getting his hurt as badly, obviously. Yeah. And I feel like that's what it is. And people are like, oh, no, I love the concept. I love that it's going to be a casket match. I'm just like, I mean, I guess it's good for Undertaker, obviously, to heal up so he doesn't have another, Especially if he's going to face Sting next year, so.
Yeah, that's the rumor. I guarantee that it'll be a much better casket match than he had with Mark Henry at WrestleMania 21, I believe.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, thank God you don't. I do.
I seriously can't even remember them fighting.
Yeah, Mark Henry is part of the streak. Believe that. But I enjoyed the segment. I think, again, agreed. Like, common sense that it was going to be Bray. And, like, when they brought out the casket, we kind of knew it. Like, Undertaker would just walk out. Mm-hmm. But I think that, obviously guarantees that we're going to get this match now. And, look, Bray Wyatt's a younger guy who can bump and feed for the Undertaker. And the psychology, again, with the Sting stuff, too, they're really helping elevate Bray with this kind of Undertaker Sting-like psychology he's bringing to the dance. So I feel like even if Bray loses, because if the idea is for Sting and Undertaker to fight in a co-retirement match in Dallas next year, which I do think is a big match that can draw, add in a possible Steve Austin return match, and you got yourself a huge card. Maybe Steve Austin, Cena, and, go from there. So, I think that Undertaker needs to win, and this is his match. And even if Bray loses, hold on, I gotta call him. Damn it! Hold on a second.
That's right. And I agree too. It obviously you can still make Bray Wyatt look extremely strong, even if he loses. I mean, just because he loses does not mean that it's gonna kill his career. Obviously, with Undertaker losing already last year, I feel like if he's going to have one more match, he needs to get back his streak a little bit and continue going, and obviously get a win, obviously, after that huge loss that he had last year with Brock Lesnar. So I think it would make sense, because if he has two losses in a row, I feel like it would be pointless to have another match with Sting, which obviously is what they're planning for, hopefully, as his retirement match next year. But Yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan of the casket match. That's the rumor though that they're gonna have, and that's why they did that whole thing. I'm not a fan of it. I think that they could obviously, and I mean it's good for Undertaker, like I said, because he's obviously I don't know though, he looked pretty good in the video I watched recently with him and his wife, Michelle. Obviously he looked like he was getting in better shape and everything like that. So he seems fine, but obviously for safe purposes, obviously, because he collapsed last year when he got behind the curtains. Obviously, they are trying to protect him, and that's a smart thing too. Obviously, he's getting up in age, and obviously his body can't take it anymore. And so Bray, obviously, they're trying to do this to obviously protect him, so he could still have a great match, but obviously, so his body doesn't go through as much as he did last year. Alrighty, and Joe's still not back yet, and I think he wanted to finish talking. um, But yeah, I thought this was the key moment of the pay-per-view. This was my favorite. Um, this was one of Wyatt's best promos, I think, in my opinion. Definitely to get him ready for this. I think this is going to be his top feud, and hopefully it is, because like obviously with Wyatt and Dean, we thought that feud was going to be amazing, and it didn't turn out as good as we thought it would be. So hopefully this storyline, they got 5 weeks, and they already started like 4 weeks ago anyways with this, with Wyatt obviously having it, and then today obviously, or last night obviously, he made it clear that he was talking about the Undertaker. So this obviously can make into a good storyline, and hopefully Undertaker appears tonight. I feel like he should, because what are they going to do if he doesn't appear tonight? I mean, I feel like he has to make it official, obviously, and say he accepts, and then obviously make that official. Because the only match that is official right now, I think, is, well, there's two, obviously, under Sting and Triple H, and then obviously Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Those are the only two confirmed. Obviously, Bray and Undertaker are going to happen, but Undertaker hasn't approved of it yet, so. Alrighty. John Cena versus Rusev. Now, this, obviously, with the whole finish, I did like the finish. I know a lot of people were like, blah, blah, blah about the finish because Rusev technically, I guess, didn't win cleanly. But the thing is he really didn't get, it wasn't a count out. It wasn't a no contest, no DQ or anything like that. So, and John Cena passed out, and that's what me and Joe wanted. I think that, obviously, that's what it needed to do. And obviously, because it doesn't make John Cena look strong or weak or anything like that, because obviously he didn't tap out. And it makes Rusev still look strong. So there you go. Two things good at once. So, and obviously, he wasn't going to win at Fastlane anyways. He's going to win at WrestleMania because obviously they are going to have another match and everything, because why would they obviously lose at Fastlane and make his undefeated streak at Fastlane? That just wouldn't make sense. Obviously WrestleMania is the place and time to do that. And my brother was freaking out too. He actually thought John Cena was going to win at some point in time, and I was just like, seriously? No, he's not. They're not going to do that. They're not going to be that stupid. But what did you think about the finish?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, all we had was a slight little distraction from Lana, distracting the referee for a second. It was a clean submission victory that Rusev now has over Mr. Hall of Famer himself, John Cena. So, I mean, you can't ever take that away from him. And even if Cena beats him at WrestleMania, Rusev has that victory over Cena. And I'm glad
they went. It makes it look better. It makes him look stronger. It makes him not look as weak. Obviously, John Cena would have won tonight and WrestleMania.
Would have been too much, and I think the internet, it was like, all right, like, cool, like, Rusev's earned the right to have this moment. And again, like, kind of like Cesaro and Kid, like, this was Rusev's moment. And you saw the crowd at Royal Rumble get behind him, and, like, they're chanting for Lana. It's like, all of a sudden, he's been such an overheel this past year, he's earning our respect, anti-American or not. And, he's really worked hard coming out of NXT last year. He's really worked hard, and all these feuds are all the Jack Swaggers and all these different people. And now he's feuding with the big boys. And this is looking like a primetime match, just like the other main events. And I think this match is a lot more going for it than Cena Bray Wyatt did last year, where I just didn't feel like Cena Bray Wyatt was a great matchup in terms of where Bray's character development was and ended up being with the feud.
Yeah, because he killed his push right after. Obviously, with Rusev, even though when he loses at WrestleMania, he'll still have that victory, so it won't completely kill his career.
Exactly, and that's why I think it was really smart for them to do it this way. And as far as Bray and him losing to the Undertaker in a casket match, I think Bray is the one guy who could survive a loss at WrestleMania in a casket match and actually get stronger from it. Maybe he can unlock even more characteristics for him. Maybe we can get who Sister Abigail is finally. Like, there's so many other interesting parts of Bray Wyatt's character, and if he were to be locked in a casket, like, I think they could be really creative in how they can spin that. So I just want to get that in. But, yeah, really loved the finish, and I really think it was really one of the good moments on this pay-per-view. Definitely, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10 matches, 8 out of 10 stars, 4 out of 5. And I thought the beginning was kind of like, I thought Rusev actually was really carrying his weight in the match, and Cena had a few sloppy moments, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. And I guess he has an injury with his eye right now, too, so he probably, maybe he can't see as clear. His vision might be a little bit messed up, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, main event time.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Now, I do like the finish of this. I do think that was smart to let Roman win. For multiple reasons, obviously because I didn't want another triple threat, and obviously for Roman winning, obviously people can't say that, oh, the Royal Rumble winner doesn't matter anymore, because that's going to be thrown out of the bag. And, like, obviously, even though you won the Royal Rumble, you're still not going to, there's a possibility that you're still not going to, you were going to hear that from fans. So I do like this, but Roman, this is what me and my brother both noticed. First 5 or 10 minutes he can go, and then he gets really, like, just burnt out, and you have to carry him. And that's how I felt with Bryan. This match was so boring. Like, the last 5 to 10 minutes, that's when it picked up.
Yeah, and this was the real test of the match, Haley. Like, could Roman hang with Daniel Bryan, who we know can go half hour, or more, and give you phenomenal wrestling action with anybody? With John Cena, with Batista, with Randy Orton, with Dolph Ziggler, with anybody. And I thought Bryan did his best to put Roman Reigns over.
Definitely.
I mean, they decided to go this route. You might as well go this route. Why not? Last year was Daniel Bryan's year. Make this year be different. Let's hope Bryan can have a big match. I'm still holding out hope for Ziggler-Bryan, because I just think that's a show stealer of a match. And I don't know what else to put those guys. Honestly, like Sheamus, I don't really care where he ends up on the card. Why don't you save him till after WrestleMania? Do you really need to get him on WrestleMania? I'd rather get an NXT guy or two, or a girl or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
it's not WrestleMania without Sheamus, Stella. So
I'm sure he's going to return tonight. I'm sure Daniel Bryan, that's how they're going to set it up. And people are like, well, why are we getting this the third time? Obviously it's different this time, because I guess it's a little bit different because obviously the roles are switched. Sheamus is now the heel, Daniel Bryan is now the face, and especially if they put the authority in this too, it can obviously make for a different storyline, because it's obviously not for the title now anymore. It's just personal, whatever you want to make it. So it is going to be different, but does that mean it's going to be good?
I just feel like the main reason for doing it would be to try to save Sheamus' career, who clearly was a lot more successful as a heel, and you add the corporate Sheamus kind of element. I think that could be really different. He can
bringing him
dress
back
up a little bit.
Heel, that definitely could help.
Yeah, I think it could help him significantly. So I'm a fan of it in that regard. But other than that, they're bigger. Daniel Bryan's a bigger player now. He's Mr. He had the WrestleMania. He stole WrestleMania last year, so, He's a bigger player than he was 2 years ago when it was an 18-second match or whatever it was, and a couple other years ago when their U.S. title match got bumped to the pre-show as a lumberjack match.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, yeah, like I said, I'm worried about the Goldberg and Brock Lesnar #2. That's what I'm worried about. Hopefully Brock can make him look good, and hopefully they'll have a good storyline. And you know what? I feel like they need to just turn Roman heel right now, but I feel like it's not going to happen until at least WrestleMania. And then I feel like Seth's going to save that no matter what. Obviously, with Roman winning and then Seth cashing in, that's pretty much what's going to save it.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a few options that can happen there. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. At least we have a clear-cut path and direction. And whether you like the path or not, we have a path and direction now to WrestleMania, 5 weeks and counting. And we couldn't say that before Fastlane. They had really booked themselves into a corner. So they've managed to get through that and now have a much clearer path for WrestleMania. And that, for me, is at least the least I could ask for from this goddamn company.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching. Joe, do you have any things you got to say? Strike Zone.
Just keep subscribing. Subscribe Joe Passarelli channel. Strike Zone each and every Thursday. We got Damian Demento calling in on behalf of ICW this week in New York. The promotion Strike Zone's going to be doing a live show at Friday, March 20th. And Spencer J. Warts, the promoter of Boston Pro Marathon, will be calling in as well. And he's got a special gift for all you viewers out there. So you better be calling in for a chance to win tickets for Boston Pro Marathon. And you Patriot fans out there, you're going to have a chance to have a meet and greet with Super Bowl champion wide receiver Brandon LaFell. So call in. It's a $50 value, $50 to go meet him in Providence this following Saturday, March 28th. But you can get an opportunity to not pay $50 to meet Brandon LaFell and meet him for free. All you got to do is call into the Strike Zone. So we got some cool giveaways this week. rickradio.org, 8 to 10 p.m. Y'all know the deal. Call in, and hopefully you can win something cool.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.